Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have been busy this morning. We woke up, we had breakfast. I took Helen for a second day at work as a taster day, so she's been enjoying that. And I've just had our loft guy come in, and he was lovely. He was a really nice guy, really knowledgeable. He opened up into the top bit of the loft for us and showed us how all that's going to work and all that jazz. And he's basically said that it's going to be pretty much a day's work. It's pretty easy to do. He's going to put us a new loft ladder in, a more stronger loft ladder. And then he's going to basically full board the entire loft. The house people were a bit cheeky. Now here's the thing. When you buy houses, you've got to understand that people like to lie. That's why it's very important to investigate. Now obviously, as me and Helen were first time buyers, we didn't have a fully set up legal team. We had the default solicitor and that was about it. But as far as legal goes, we didn't have any sort of help legally to get jobs done moving forwards. We had to go off face value, and the lady, both ladies who showed us around this house as our estate agents, told us that the loft was half boarded. That was a lie. I've been up there. I've stood in the loft of my own house now, which is pretty cool. And being stood up there in the loft, I was informed that, yeah, they lie through their teeth. When they sell you a property, they want you to buy the property at any costs. That means lying to you. So not only did they sell us a house with a solar panel that didn't work and a solar water heater that didn't work, they also sold us a house based on the fact that it was half boarded in the loft. Now it's not half boarded. If it would have been half boarded, it would have been half the price, and we'd have just had to basically board the second half and put in a loft ladder. They lied. So we have a full board job that needs to be done. And we need, obviously, the ladder we needed anyway, so that's not a big deal. There is electricity up there, so that's pretty cool. And our TV antenna's on the roof up there, which is pretty sweet. And I'm not like 6'2", but the guy who came was a bit taller than me, so I'm about 5'9", 5'10". He was about 6 foot. He was a bit taller than me. And he could stand up in the loft absolutely fine. There was like another room for about like another half a person above him to stand on his head. So, yeah. Really good loft, really good quality loft. The loft is very nice, and it clearly will do the job that we need it to do, which is to store Christmas decorations and Tom's backlog of Lego and family heirloom stuff, and it will do the job. But I wish the lady hadn't lied about it being half boarded. Nothing you can do about that now. We took her at face value. Obviously, we didn't have a loft ladder to go up there and inspect the loft. We could have made it awkward if one of us had brought like a painting and decorating ladder and let ourselves up into the loft, just to turn around and tell her that, yeah, it's not boarded. It's not even half boarded. You lying bugger. But she lied, and that happens, you know. Men and women can lie, and that's not good. But we have to do what we have to do. It's a life lesson. So when you, viewer, are out there buying your own property for the first time, it doesn't matter as much if you're renting, because there's no reason why they'd lie to you. There's no reason why they'd want to lie to you, because they want you to be a happy paying customer. But if you're buying a property, inspect it. We paid for checks on the house and a house survey and everything, which was great because we found out everything we needed to find out. But definitely check everything. Like, get people to come in and help you check. If you don't know yourself, ask someone who might, whether it's an auntie, an uncle, a brother, a sister, anybody you've got around you who could come and help you check something out, because I don't know if it would have made a great deal to the sale of the house, and to be fair, me and Helen were just desperate by the end stage to just buy the damn thing. We jumped through so many hoops to get here. We wouldn't have, I don't think it would have really changed much, to be honest with you, but at least we would have known. Because I was like, yeah, he was like, is it boarded? Have you got any stuff boarded in the loft? And I was like, I think we do. The woman said it was half boarded. And he went up there with me and he was like, nope, no it's not. No it's not. They lied. And I was like, you damn dirty devils. How could you? But yeah, business people lie. So, is what it is. But that's a really trusted loft company. They're awesome. They're really cool. I'll put them linked into one of the videos when they do the loft job. And as a big full-sized man, I got to stand up in the loft and I felt really safe doing it. I wasn't on like wibbly-wobbly ladders. He gave me like a demo ladder. And he was like, this is kind of like the ladder you'll get. And I was like, do you know what? I feel safe and secure on that ladder. And even though I feel safe and secure. Like, on the rare occasions I'll actually go up into the loft and stand up there. Mainly, I'll be on the ground pushing the heavy stuff up to Helen, who will be waiting at the top of the ladder to pull it up anyway. So, swings and roundabouts. We'll be fine. I'm absolutely excited. Helen's in work, so now I've got to wait basically 12 hours before I can tell her anything. But in the side quests of today, we did the pressure washer. That's a YouTube short. Go and check the pressure washer YouTube short out, because that was very funny. I had my pressure washer gun, and I was pressure washing outside. And if I can show you through our nice new windows, our privacy windows working again. This one was crinkled last time we filmed it. Look at it now. She's perfect. Perfect. No one can see me. You can't see me outside. That's very funny. I like that. That's very cool. But outside on the floor there, you can actually see where the pressure washer has worked its magic and left some traces. So in the summer, when it's actually nice and warm, we're going to go out there. A lot of garden jobs, which I'm very excited about. Going to get to do some garden work, which is going to be fun. But today's job is to go to Curry's and to find a security camera and get it installed on the property. Maybe one at the back, maybe one at the front. I don't know what my budget is yet. But we're going to go and we're going to shop around and we're going to ask a lot of questions and we're going to see what's the best thing to do. Because we don't want a Ring doorbell. Because if you get a Ring doorbell, not only do you need an Amazon account, which is like, why the hell should I have to have an Amazon account just to have a doorbell? But then on top of that, you've got to pay a subscription, you've got to pay for cloud storage, you've got to pay for all this all this nonsense. I want a non-subscription security camera, and the one brand that we found at the moment that seems the most reliable is one called Effie. Sounds pretty cool. From the videos I've watched, looks pretty decent. So, shopping online for a security camera, you can do it. I don't recommend it. Best to go in person and ask loads of questions. So we're going to get in the car and we're going to head to Curry's and we're going to go and ask them a lot of questions. So let's go and shop for a security camera together. Come on, let's go. I just had some time sat in the armchair looking out the window, listening to some music and watching the world go by. And I can honestly say I've not done that for about 5 years. See, when we were back in university, Helen would sometimes use her school holidays or uni break to go back and visit parents and a sibling, because her older sister had 2 kids. I mean, she had 1 kid while we were at uni. So Helen used the time to go back. But I always had a lot of time left in the house, and obviously keeping it clean, looking after it, doing the jobs that needed doing, and making content. That's what I did. And I liked it. I loved it. But it didn't feel like home because it was always on borrowed time. We always knew we were going to have to leave it at some point. So I never really settled there. And I moved back to my mum and dad's after we graduated from uni, which I know I'm lucky to do. Not everyone gets that opportunity. But I moved back to my mum and dad's house. And it never really felt quite like a home either. And I was a bit up in the air. I had a home for a really long time that I was born in and that I grew up in, and spent 19 years of my life there. And then it got sold, and I was happy, genuinely, because I wanted to move on with my life. And I fear that if my mum and dad didn't do the very big and brave thing to sell that house, that original family home over in Manchester, if they hadn't have done that, because it was a scary decision for them. It was a big decision for them. It was a massive decision for them. And if they hadn't have been brave enough to do that, I don't know what my life could have looked like. I think it would have been a lot more insular. I think it would have been a lot more cooped up and bubbled and mollycoddled and stuck at home forever. And I would never have gone out and been independent and made a life for myself. And going to university and having some practice with it, first in a flat during COVID, and then into our first student house, and then finally now here, into the bricks and mortar that is mine and Helen's. And, you know, it won't look like this forever. It won't be a tent on the floor and a camping chair near the window and a duvet as an improvised couch and a monitor sat on top of an Xbox box and a ring light in the corner as a light source and fairy lights. It won't always be like that. It won't always be blue. Soon there'll be this colour. That won't always be there. That door might not always look like that door. The carpet might not always look like this carpet, but eventually, you know, the kitchen will change. Having a place to call a home is so special to me, because when me and Helen were lucky enough to go to university and we got through the COVID pandemic and we did our 3 years at uni, it wasn't even about the education side of it. It wasn't even about getting a degree side of it. Both of us now work very different jobs than what our degrees were ever actually meant to be used for. We went for the social aspect. Like, we went to trial run, not even like the university social aspect, but we went to trial run what life as a couple would look like. And we did it that well that we wanted to graduate and buy a house together. And it took us another 4 years after that. So, you know, it took us a long time. And a lot of graft and a lot of long nights and a lot of stress and a lot of hard work and a lot of doing jobs we didn't want to do and working in an industry that is unforgiving, unruly and difficult. There was a spider on the floor. And we got it. Yeah, working hard and doing stuff that we could never have imagined. The fact that I met Helen and Helen met me when we were both 16-year-old teenagers, and now we stand in the footprint of our future home and a homestead that we get to assemble together and build together and work on together and look after together. It shows you how far you can come if you are with the right person who motivates you. And I'm grateful for Helen for that reason, because I think a lot of times it's easy to get things twisted. After my mum and dad made their move and they sold their house, had that have been the plan from day one, and that was something that I knew well enough in advance, I probably would have sold a lot of my assets and sold a lot of the stuff that I have, like materialistic wise, and I'd have probably sold up and shipped out and gone to a place abroad. I would have tried dipping my toe in Australia and Florida, and there's still parts of me, even Spain was interesting for a while. I mean, this is a side of stuff that we've not had a chance to talk about on camera properly, but yeah, England was never my cup of tea. England was never meant to be where I was going to stay for a long period of time. It was meant to be the place that I started my journey at, 0 to 25, or 0 to 20, and then graduate uni, get myself a job, stockpile a bunch of money, and then just disappear abroad to a different country and try a few different countries. Helen has been the person who's kept me in England. She's been the person who's kept me here. If it wasn't for Helen, I don't think I'd be in the UK. My parents, my family members, my friends, they owe Helen an awful lot, because without her, they wouldn't have me. I certainly wouldn't be here in the UK, and here in a much deeper capacity. It wouldn't have been my idea. Wouldn't have been my idea to stick around here. And if I was going to chase anything and put time and money into something as a soloist, it'd be going abroad. It'd be traveling the world. It'd be going to different countries and renting places and hopping from one city to the next. I think ADHD helps that. I think being slightly autistic, to not like, to get bored very easily and wanting to hop around different things. I don't like being, smothered. I like freedom. I like having independence. Whether you call that an autistic trait or an ADHD trait, the line gets a bit blurry. But ultimately, yeah, I would like to have gone abroad and done it myself and disappeared myself. So thank Helen. If you're happy that I'm here in England, thank Helen, because without Helen, my life would not be in the UK. She's made me think about the UK in such a different way. We travelled the country. We went up to the Lake Districts. We went to London, down near my sister's house in Surrey. We priced that up. We looked it out down there, and some friends of ours, some school friends of Helen's, have made it down in London. My sister's down in London with our nephews and her husband. So it's possible, and it was a possibility. We got to house sit for Kerry, my sister. We got to house sit for her and her husband Paul, and we got to look at what the local shops were like and what the prices down there were like. And for for the quality of life that we wanted, it was not going to be affordable or enjoyable. So we pulled that, and then we looked at the Lake District, and yeah, it's peaceful and it's quaint and it's nice, but it's very reserved for more of an older aged person to kind of retire there and relax there, if that's the nature vibe is what they're after. And Manchester was never going to be for me. I loved Huddersfield, I loved Leeds, I loved Sheffield when we went to Sheffield, I loved Nottingham when we went down to Nottingham. I liked a lot of places in England. I didn't love any of them particularly, and then we just randomly kept coming to York over and over and over and over and over again. And it started out as a uni trip to York, and then it started out as a birthday trip for me, and then it was a trip for Helen, and then a trip for an anniversary, and then another trip and another trip and another trip. And eventually Helen was the one to say, I'd be quite happy settling in York. I'd be quite happy to move to York and start a life up there if that's something that I would support her with. And I was like, yeah. I've always said that. For 9 years I've said that to Helen. If there's ever a plan or a goal or a mission that she wants to try and achieve, and I as her partner can help her do it, I will do it. I will sacrifice and I will do whatever she needs me to do to get the best outcome in life. She's my person. She's who I've chosen to be with for the foreseeable, and I couldn't imagine a life without her, so I want to be her right-hand person. I'm left-handed, so I'd actually be more helpful as a left-hand person, but I just want to be the person she goes to if she needs anything. And there's a lot of people in the world who are judgmental and stressful and difficult to deal with. Work people, family people, all kinds of people can be tough and tricky to deal with, so having that one go-to ride-or-die person, if I can be that for someone, then that's my purpose in life. That's what I've chosen to be, is the best person to a particular person, and my particular person is Helen. So yeah, I'm going to go and get the security camera for our beautiful new home. And yeah, that's just my little TED talk for now. But I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace. Pepsi. Sunglasses. Khakis. Let's hit the road. And just like that, we have arrived at Sainsbury's. Because we have to go to their Asda. Not their Asda, their Argos. Thomas, you donut. We have to go to the Argos because they've got our security camera. Let's go! This is what... Very good. So, we've been to the shops. We retrieved our brand new camera, security camera. Happy days. We got some Gorilla Glue, sellotape. We got some pepperoni. We got some plasters because I am forever slicing and dicing my fingers to ribbons when I'm doing DIY work. So I need some plasters. And I got some barbecue Pringles because England is playing on soon in the World Cup. It's still the World Cup season. Come on, England. Receipts go there for the books to be kept. Pepsi that I took with me didn't even end up drinking in the end, so Pepsi goes back to the wall of the Pepsis. For now. And we got some Powerade because they were on Nectar card discount. Some Powerade for the fridge. Very nice. And a new bag for life to go in our aforementioned bag cupboard. There we go. We have a bag cupboard. Ooh, very good. So yeah, I'm going to have a lunch because it is 10 past 11. We're going to have lunch first. Once lunch has been consumed, we're going to work on installing the security camera. Quiet bin. Here we have assembled everything we need to start our security camera installation. We have the back of the security camera itself. We have its positioning sticker. We have the nails it provided and the screws it provided, and we have these. And then we have the equipment, so we've got the drill, some eye protection, some hand protection, and we're going to go and give it our best shot. So let's go. Step 1 has been completed. And now for step 2, where we line up this bugger and that bugger and screw him into the wall. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to need my spare hand for that. But yeah, that should work. I just got to finish using my electric screwdriver and mic drill, and I can officially show you, lovely ladies and gentlemen, that we have a very sturdy bracket to hold the camera. Woohoo! Well, now it's saying it's doing its thing, so we'll have to wait and see what happens next. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question is, has Tom been able to finally install a security camera into the house? Let's have a look. Let's see if we've done it. Oh, bam! Of course I have! Of course I have! There she is! Hello! And now from the other angle. There we are, folks. Looking good, looking groovy. Look, I've spotted a cheeky chappie at my front door. Oh, of course I have. Of course I have. There she is. Hello. And now from the other angle. I can commemorate myself on a job well done. The house has finally got a security camera on the front of it. I am more than happy. And now I just have to wait for Helen to get out of work and enjoy the next part of the day. Peace.